Before we begin, viewer discretion is strongly advised. The following is for educational and entertainment purposes only. This is a verbatim federal courtroom testimony of the Sean Diddy Combs trial as reported by the Inner City Press reported. As the courtroom quiets, rapper and mogul 50 Cent Curtis Jackson takes the witness stand, marking a shocking moment in the Diddy trial. Known for his biting humor and fearless commentary on social media, 50 Cent has long thrown shade at Sean Diddy Combs, but this moment is different. Now he's not posting memes or making offhanded comments, he's testifying under oath in federal court. The testimony begins by framing the context of ongoing investigations into trafficking and misconduct involving Diddy. Federal prosecutors are reportedly digging into years of disturbing behavior within the music industry. 50 Cent, breaking industry silence, reveals a hidden side of Diddy, one that many insiders allegedly knew about but never spoke of publicly. 50 Cent doesn't hold back. He accuses Diddy not only of shady behavior, but of creating a toxic and manipulative environment, especially for younger male artists. He claims to have brought receipts, a list of names, moments, and evidence that would finally expose what had been whispered behind closed doors for years. This wasn't speculation anymore. This was now part of the public record. As the tension builds in the courtroom, the judge issues a warning to the gallery to remain calm. But the mood shifts immediately. 50 Cent's words are precise, and the impact is immediate. He's not just calling out Diddy, he's naming names and pulling back the veil on a culture of silence and fear. The feud between 50 Cent and Diddy, long known to fans and industry watchers, is not new. It began years ago through veiled insults, interviews, memes, and cryptic Instagram posts. In 2014, for example, 50 posted a meme suggesting a suspiciously close relationship between Diddy and Rick Ross. At the time, it was dismissed as trolling, but in hindsight, 50 suggests it was part of a pattern he had been trying to expose. Another example comes from 2018, during an interview on The Breakfast Club, where 50 Cent recalled a strange interaction with Diddy. He said Diddy invited him to go shopping and insisted, "I'll pay for it." While it sounded innocent on the surface, 50 Cent described feeling deeply uncomfortable, raising questions about Diddy's intentions. "What grown man invites another man to shop with him and says he'll pay?" he asked. The room laughed, but 50's tone made it clear he was dropping hints. As lawsuits began to emerge in 2022, most notably from Cassie Ventura, alleging abuse and coercion against Diddy, 50 Cent changed his tone on social media. He posted the Cassie lawsuit headline on Instagram with the caption, "Told you." No longer seen as trolling, many fans and followers began re-examining his previous statements more seriously. People began to believe that 50 wasn't joking. He was trying to warn the public. Now in a federal courtroom, under legal obligation and facing real consequences for perjury, 50 Cent is putting it all on the record. The chunk ends as he continues to build toward the more explosive parts of his testimony, foreshadowing the dramatic revelations still to come. Continuing his testimony, 50 Cent made it clear he wasn't holding back. The prosecution, seemingly anticipating a bombshell, called him as a surprise witness. His role? To speak about what he personally experienced and heard at private industry gatherings, backstage encounters, and during off-the-record conversations, all with the goal of painting a more revealing picture of Sean Diddy Combs, beyond the public image of a successful music mogul. He didn't just provide gossip or generalizations. According to insiders, he came armed with a literal list containing not only alleged incidents but specific names of artists, collaborators, and even victims. The court leaned in when he confirmed this was more than vague suspicion. This was a pattern he claimed to have seen unfold repeatedly, and it began with someone fans already had suspicions about: rapper Fabulous. 50 recounted an infamous moment from the Drink Champs podcast, where Diddy repeatedly pressed Fabulous on why they never partied together, saying in a playful tone, "We ain't never really party." While it might have seemed like a joke to viewers at the time, 50 said the moment was anything but funny. He was there during the filming and testified that Fabulous's body language, nervous laughter, avoiding eye contact, shrinking into his chair, spoke volumes. According to 50, That wasn't just a lighthearted moment gone awkward. It was fear. Real fear. And it wasn't the only time Fabulous had an uncomfortable encounter with Diddy. 50 recalled a private industry event where Diddy allegedly cornered Fabulous again, making another unwanted advance. He testified that Fab told someone nearby, "Man, I just want to go home," as Diddy allegedly insisted, "Come on, I got a room upstairs, just chill." Fabulous, according to 50, slipped out a back door to escape. 50 connected this to a social media post Fabulous had once made, where he described sneaking out of a Diddy party at 7 a.m., pretending to go to the bathroom and leaving instead. 50 told the court that people attend these parties out of pressure, not desire, and that's exactly what he claimed Diddy uses: pressure. Then came the warning. 150 said he's given to younger rappers privately for years. He told them to avoid being alone with Diddy, to never accept gifts, never go to his house, and especially never agree to a party after the party. According to 50, that's when things get dark. But what really shocked the courtroom was the next name on his list: Justin Bieber. 50 acknowledged that this would be hard for many to accept. "Now this one's going to hurt some of y'all," he said. Bieber, long seen as the once innocent pop star with the bowl haircut, was allegedly around Diddy at a very young age, fresh in the game. 50 referenced a real clip where Diddy is seen jokingly saying about Justin, "I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me." It was portrayed as a mentorship moment. Diddy even said, "We're gonna go full buck, full crazy," but 50 argued the context was deeply troubling, especially in hindsight. He testified that many industry insiders were uncomfortable with the dynamic and that the mentorship label didn't match what was really happening. Prosecutors asked 50 what he believed occurred during that 48-hour period. He clarified that he didn't personally witness any misconduct, but he emphasized that he had heard disturbing accounts from people within Bieber's inner circle. These accounts allegedly involved exposure to adult environments and things no 15-year-old should be around. He also brought up Bieber's later mental health struggles, emotional breakdowns, and public meltdowns, suggesting they were signs of deep trauma that, in 50's view, could be traced back to his early interactions with Diddy and the pressures of the industry. 50 stated that Bieber never directly spoke out, but added, "He spoke in volumes by what he don't say." He pointed to how Bieber quickly distanced himself from Diddy as soon as he had more control over his career, and how, in an interview, when asked whether he would let his own child attend Flavor Camp, a name associated with Diddy's youth outreach, Bieber nervously laughed and said, "Hell no." 50 told the court, "That wasn't a joke, that was him remembering." He described how the pattern is one of early grooming, followed by control through gifts and silence. He emphasized again, Puff finds them young, promises them the world, then controls them with gifts and silence. When asked if Bieber would ever go public, 50 admitted he didn't know, but said the evidence was in what Bieber avoids, not just in what he says. He closed this portion by stating that the courtroom was about to hear even more explosive names, as he was just getting to the part of the list involving people closer to the streets and the secrets. As he paused, looked directly at Diddy, and said, "Now this next one, this ain't just hearsay. I got it straight from the man who saw it himself." That man? Gene Deal, Diddy's longtime bodyguard, who had previously spoken publicly about the mogul. 50 was now prepared to echo Gene Deal's first-hand accounts under oath, bringing the courtroom into the next stage of the scandal. As 50 Cent continued testifying, he shifted the focus to someone else who had also spoken out in the past: Gene Deal, the former bodyguard of Diddy, known for sharing explosive insider stories from behind the scenes. This time, however, those allegations were being echoed in federal court under oath, giving them a new level of credibility and gravity. 50 recounted one of Gene's most unsettling claims: a trip to an adult bookstore. According to Gene Deal's account, which 50 repeated in court, Diddy went on a shopping spree in the store, buying an enormous amount of adult products. Gene, as security, was allegedly tasked with carrying the bags, despite his discomfort. But what made this moment even more bizarre and disturbing was what followed. They were headed to a show in North Carolina, And after arriving, Diddy and Ja Rule reportedly went into a private suite together. Gene was ordered to stand guard outside. A short while later, Ja Rule cracked the door open and told Gene, "Yo, you might not want to come in here. It's a little freaky in here tonight." The court went silent. Prosecutors pressed for clarification on what that meant. 50 Cent, pulling no punches, explained that it wasn't about candles or bubble baths. The implication was that whatever was happening inside the suite was highly sexual and not a typical friendly hangout. This wasn't an isolated story. 50 claimed it fit a wider pattern of inappropriate behavior and secrecy. He emphasized, "This ain't about two grown men doing what they want. It's about power. It's about coercion." According to 50, what happened behind closed doors at Diddy's events wasn't just private. It was protected by fear, intimidation, and non-disclosure agreements, NDAs. He pointed out that Ja Rule has never publicly addressed the incident and suggested that this silence speaks volumes. "He ain't been the same since," 50 stated. He suggested that many artists who have been caught up in similar situations have suffered emotionally, mentally, or professionally afterward. Then, 50 named another artist, YK Osiris, a younger performer who shot to fame quickly, and then, just as quickly, appeared to spiral. According to 50, Osiris was lured in through the same tactics Diddy allegedly used on others: promises of mentorship, luxurious trips, and lavish gifts. One key detail was a trip to Jamaica, publicized through photos that showed Osiris and Diddy at the same resort, at the same time. Although Osiris claimed he was there with his girlfriend, fans noticed the similarities, questioning how coincidental it really was. 50 claimed that once Diddy brings someone into his circle, something shifts. He referenced Osiris's emotional Instagram Live breakdown, where the artist cried and spoke cryptically about being alone, lost, and misunderstood in the music industry. In court, 50 played a clip of that breakdown to highlight the mental toll these situations have on young artists. "That boy was breaking down and nobody helped," he said. "That's what happens when Puff discards you." According to 50, this is a cycle. Diddy grooms young talent, love bombs them with attention and wealth, and then eventually leaves them emotionally wrecked. "It's not always about physical abuse," he said. "It's about the psychological power Diddy wields over vulnerable artists." When asked if YK Osiris ever made direct allegations, 50 admitted, not directly. But he pointed to behavioral signs, the breakdowns, cryptic posts, and withdrawal from the public, as indications of something deeper happening behind the scenes. The testimony then took another turn. 50 again mentioned Fabulous, but added a new name to the story: Kevin Hart. While Kevin Hart might seem far removed from this controversy, 50 told the court that Hart had also been exposed to suspicious environments, just like others on the list. He cited a live stream moment involving Hart that many had previously shrugged off as Diddy being eccentric. But 50 claimed there was a deeper discomfort beneath Hart's laughter. He also returned to the Drink Champs episode where Diddy flirted with Fabulous on air. "You could see Fab's face," 50 said. "He looked like he was being reminded of something, not just joking." 50 explained that Diddy throws parties known for being extremely secretive and highly controlled. According to him, guests were often banned from bringing their own security, had their phones confiscated, and were required to sign NDAs. These parties allegedly included rituals involving substances, blindfolds, and activities that attendees would only whisper about afterward. "Once you've been to one of those parties," 50 warned, "he owns you." He said both Fabulous and Kevin Hart tried to laugh things off in public, but their body language and facial expressions told a different story. "You ever seen a man laugh while dying inside?" he asked. "Watch those clips again." 50 concluded this part of his testimony with a powerful statement. "It ain't always about what happened, sometimes it's about what you were pressured into, what you were made to feel like you owed. That's how Puff works." The courtroom, once again, sat stunned as the implications settled in. And more names were still to come. As 50 Cent reached the final portion of his testimony, the courtroom atmosphere was tense and silent. The revelations had already been jaw-dropping, but what came next delivered the ultimate gut punch, and would soon send shockwaves through the entertainment industry. Slowly, 50 pulled a folded sheet of paper from inside his jacket, the list he'd alluded to throughout his testimony. "This," he said to the court, "is the list. The one people said didn't exist." He began reading the names aloud, each more shocking than the last. Justin Bieber, Ja Rule, Bow Wow, Trey Songz, Kevin Hart, Fabulous. He then added, "and more. Some I ain't even going to say because they're not ready yet, but they will be." The courtroom froze. These weren't unknown figures. These were mainstream celebrities, chart-topping artists, comedy giants, and beloved pop culture personalities. Some of them had been admired since their youth, and their connection to Diddy, previously seen as harmless, now appeared in a much more troubling light. 50 explained that Diddy didn't operate alone. He ran what 50 called a whole system, a network of insiders who looked the other way, who helped cover things up, who protected him, and who cleaned up his messes. The silence, he said, wasn't just out of fear, it was contractual. Many of those involved, he claimed, had signed strict non-disclosure agreements, NDAs. These NDAs, according to 50, barred people from speaking about Diddy, his family, his parties, his associates, and anything they saw behind closed doors. Some contracts even forbade mentioning unusual behavior witnessed at events. People signed them because they were told they'd never work again if they broke them, and many believed it. 50 clarified that not all the people on the list were victims. Some were, according to him, collaborators, individuals who allegedly helped recruit others into the system, knowingly or not. "But I won't name them, not today," he said. When asked why he chose now to speak out, 50 answered with raw sincerity. "Because I've seen too many people fall apart. Too many break down. I got kids, and I'm not letting this man do it to the next generation." He added that this trial was not just about Cassie's lawsuit or one incident. "It's not about money," he said. "It's about power, the power this man used to break people, to ruin people. And I ain't staying quiet no more." As he finished, the courtroom remained in total silence, not out of indifference but from utter disbelief. No applause, no cheers, just stunned faces. The impact was seismic. Within hours of the testimony, the media went into overdrive. Headlines exploded. 50 Cent names names in Diddy trial. Freak-off scandal expands. Is hip-hop's power structure crumbling? But the most intense reactions came behind the scenes. According to courtroom sources and industry insiders, public relations teams panicked. Celebrities named in the testimony went offline, deleted posts, or disabled comments. Lawyers began sending out cease and desist letters, particularly around clips, blogs, and YouTube channels recapping the trial. Some stars reportedly began lawyering up immediately, anticipating subpoenas. One insider told the press, "This thing's about to get a lot bigger." Hollywood and the music world were shaken. Agents began distancing clients from Diddy and even his affiliates. Endorsement deals were paused, sponsorships reviewed, and streaming services began reevaluating any partnership with Bad Boy Entertainment or associated artists. Even Kevin Hart, who had once played off awkward moments with Diddy as jokes, canceled 2 public appearances in the following week, citing family time. Online forums and fan communities immediately began digging through old content. They rewatched Drink Champs interviews, Instagram live sessions, award show interactions, red carpet photos. Moments that once seemed odd or humorous were now viewed with alarming hindsight. Cryptic social media captions, nervous body language, and inside jokes were re-examined as potential signs of hidden trauma or manipulation. A viral post on X, Twitter, read, "This is the Me Too moment for male artists, and it's just starting." Perhaps the most chilling revelation came from multiple former Bad Boy artists who anonymously told investigative journalists that their contracts explicitly forbid them from speaking negatively about Sean Combs, his businesses, or his events, forever. One clause even prohibited disclosing unusual or suggestive behavior witnessed at private gatherings. Despite this, 50 Cent wasn't backing down. The morning after his testimony, he posted a bold message on Instagram. "They tried to cancel me before. I dare them to try again. Y'all not gonna shut me up while these people suffer." The post featured a photo of him outside the courthouse, with a caption that sent a final message to the world: "More names coming soon."